bit better. I was looking a little bit ghostly. No necklace on tonight. I'm wearing quite a decorative top thing, so I didn't bother with the necklace. Yeah. Well, I'm on my own at the moment. Oh no, I've got one person. Let's see who's the first one today. Let's take bets. Who will it be? Who will be the first person to say hello today? Will it be Chris? Will it be Nathan? Will it be somebody completely different? Who knows? I've got three people watching now, but still nobody said anything yet. Oh, feeling quite deprived. Let's see who's going to speak. Nobody's speaking. Oh, well. I shall just talk amongst myself. Oh, hello, only me. I was waiting for somebody to actually speak to me. I was like Billy No Mates over here. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Hi, Nathan. Wearing my rainbow gloves. Woohoo. My hands are always cold. I've got to say this. In my defense, my hands are always cold. Even though we've got a raging fire lit. Look at that. Isn't that good? Woo! It's that time of year now, people. The weather's not too bad, Esther. Not too bad. It was absolutely throwing it down on Thursday. I got soaking wet through, right through to my underwear. Hiya, Ray. I have got a cape that goes over the scooter. But it's very big and it's very flappy and it's, and the hood is just too big. Hi, Deirdre. Hi, Ray. Oh, we've got a squirrel raid. Whee! Squirrel raid, yeah. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Rainbow Creations. Look, I'm wearing rainbow gloves. Oh, hi, Granny Square. The coughing is kind of getting a little bit better, yeah. Oh, you're in the ads, so we'll see you in a few. Right, okay, Nana Michelle, yeah. I'm not going to be on too long tonight because I didn't sleep at all. Hi, Jen, Squirrel Raid. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Genevieve. I didn't sleep too well last night. In fact, I was reading a book with Rosie on the sofa. She scared me to death, actually, because I came in here, didn't realise Rosie was sitting on the sofa. She frightened me. So me and Rosie read books until, well, she didn't read books. She chewed them up if you look at the pictures. Right, who have we got? We've got Bob's Art Studio, Kiwi Crochet Corner, Yarn Garth, and Linda. Hey! Yeah, so Rosie unfortunately shut herself in. Hi, Dinky Crafts. She shut herself in to my lounge after I'd gone back to bed. And she chewed up a book. Luckily, it was a very old book, so I don't know how she managed to shut herself in. Thank you, Joe. Hey, Ruth. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to going to Yarndale tomorrow. There's been no big functions of any description, really, because of COVID and everything. It's probably been the same in the US. That all the big, things that we normally go to were all suspended, weren't they, and stopped. Yeah, she was absorbing crochet. I hope she learned to crochet while she was doing that. But funny enough, my son gave me this little battered bit of crochet and said, I hope she hasn't done anything. And hi, everybody. Hi, Virginia. And it was a piece of crochet, actually, that Sue had done for me. There's a pattern in the book that Rosie had chewed. And it was a shawl by Doris Chan, and I couldn't get the hang of the start of it. I just couldn't. It wasn't going in at all. And she came one day and she said, give me some wool. And she did me a practice piece. Yeah. But Rosie's actually put a hole in it, but I can still see it. Yeah. Hi, Sean. Hi, Kim G. Hi, Virginia. Hi, anybody I've missed. Yeah, so luckily she didn't do any damage, really. She chewed the spine of the book. She must have been petrified shutting herself in, yeah? Hi, Granny D. Oh, thank you. It's actually like a lounging robe, but I like it. Look how sparkly it is. Woohoo! I don't wear it often enough, but I just thought I'd put it on. Because don't tell anybody, but I've got my PJs on underneath, yeah? Yeah, got PJs on. Ready for getting into bed when I finish this live, yeah? Hee hee. Yeah, I've got me M&S PJs on. I didn't buy them. They were a present from my niece. You know, M&S is getting a little bit pricey these days. Although I must admit, I do like their undies. If I dare mention the word knickers, they do wash and wash and wash, and I do like them. So I need to really get some new ones, actually. Yeah, I bought this ages ago, and I really don't wear it though that much, and I should, because it's so pretty. Mind you, I bought one of those cuddly things the other day. You know, those big things that you put all over yourself. Yeah, I'm determined to stay warm. Well, you know, with the, dare we say, the energy price is going up and up and up and up. We have to do something, don't we? Yeah. Ah, you're drinking water, working on your crochet top. Oh, thank you, Angela. You just joined me. It's 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning and you're still in bed. Yeah, well, I've got to get up about that time tomorrow morning. So I finished my blanket shower. Finished it. It drove me nuts. How you crafters can make blanket after blanket after blanket, you have my utter imagination. You know, honestly, I'm so in awe of you. Because baby blankets fine, but blankets, I was like, if I hadn't have been watching our lovely Queen's funeral, I wouldn't have got it finished, to be quite honest with you, yeah. Because it bored me rigid. And if anybody asks me, will I make them when I'm going to leave the country? Yeah. I finished another show, although I'm not quite sure why it had green in the middle of it. But that's the way it was in the ball. It was a cake, yeah. So as I'm getting a bit fed up of doing the virus show, I thought I'd start another pattern, but I'm not in awe of that one either. Oh, I would rather make clothes any day, any day. I'd rather make a big cardigan, anything, but not blankets. Yeah, it's green. It doesn't look very purple. It looks a bit blue at the top, but it's actually quite a pinky purple. That's a bit closer to the colour, but it's not it. Then it went into green, and then it went into sort of a pinky purple at the end. But that's the thing with these cones, you don't know what happens to them. I've actually started another one now, but I'm not sure whether I like how it's working up. I'm actually doing the 5-point diamond shawl. It's an old book. I don't know whether you can still get it or not, but you know, I think you can. It's a leisure art. Now it says make it in a weekend shawl, but unless you're a very, very fast, you know, crocheter and you're doing it in chunky, I don't think you would be able. It's actually not a bad pattern when you get into it, Ray. I've done it before. Oh, hi, Susan. I've done it before. There are some nice patterns in here. But make them in a weekend. I think that's pushing it a little bit, really. You know, there are some nice patterns in it. I mean, look at that. That is beautiful. But make it in a weekend. You'd have to sit and do nothing else, wouldn't you? Yeah. But I do like the patterns in here. Well, a lot of them. Some I don't like, but like that one doesn't float my boat. Crosses and diamonds. Hi, Susan. I said that before. That one's quite a lacy one, but it's more of a stole than a shawl. I call them stoles or wraps, you know, when they go long and slender. I mean, that one's, again, another long, slim one. You probably could do that in a weekend if you're a fast crocheter. That one's nice if you're doing it for a kiddie winky. Yeah, so, with it being this very, very fine, it's not looking quite. Oh, you're making us all a blue, are you, Granny D? Oh, good show. Now, this one is, again, the Radiant Bowen Mirage. And it's colours of, that's grey. That's like a pale bluey grey, pinky colour. And this is like, it looks purple there, but it's actually more of a clover pink. But I don't think it's working up as nicely in that pattern. But I'm going to persevere because I'm not starting another one. You can see it. It might look better as it progresses. You know. We shall see. I just want something to take with me. You know, because I can't sit on a couch forever and a day and not do anything. But I'm not really in the mood for doing my crocheting tonight, really. So I'll put that over on one side. My ribbon arrived today. See, look how blue that looks, and it's a gorgeous regal purple. I don't know why the camera turns it into blue. I've got a lovely coat, a winter coat. I bought it about 2 winters ago. And I hardly wear it because even though it's a good warm winter coat, it's got a hood. It's purple, of course, with purple fur. But the hood just blows back all the time because there's no fastening on it. So I came to get some ribbon. So why have you not come across my channel? I don't know. Oh, Granny D, thank you very much for putting a name in for me. Ooh. Hey, Brandon. Hi, Virginia. Yeah, I ditched the grey again. I was going to grow it out, but, you know, vanity got the better of me, I'm sorry to say. You know, I'm a vain old broad when it all comes down to it. So I thought, no, can't be coping with it. It has to go back to blonde. I've got the rest of my life to go grey, haven't I? I'm not going that nice colour of grey. At the sides, it's beautiful. It's silver at the sides. But when it grows out, it's just that really, really dark grey. So, yeah, I was born to be blonde, Virginia. I always wanted to be blonde when I was younger. I never had the complexion. I was always very dark skinned and very dark haired. But as I've got older, my skin's gone paler. More wrinkly, but it's gone paler as well. I have tried that purple shampoo, yeah. I sort of went a bit Mrs. Slocum blue, you know. Yeah, but this was dark grey, Ray, really dark grey. You know, almost like not black, but really dark. It was like a big tide mark going across my head, and I thought, no. If I could go white overnight, bring it on, but it's the in-between I don't like, yeah. I admire people who could dye their hair really vivid colours. I've always thought I should do purple, but I've never had the whatever to do it. Very timid when it comes to my hair, you know. But, you know, see the people with the rainbow hair? Mind you, they have it done professionally, and it must cost them an absolute arm and a leg. But it's the upkeep, isn't it, if you dye your, say, hair purple or something. Blonde's not too bad because you can do it yourself out of a bottle. Says she. Cheapo. That's me, cheap. Yeah. Hi, Lydia. I'm a very cheap person when it comes to myself. I don't buy expensive clothes, expensive jewellery. I don't spend an awful lot of money on myself. Yeah. I don't know why. I'm not a high maintenance lady, I don't think. I never have been really, I haven't tried a shampoo bar yet. I did look at them because when I was going on my holidays, well, I only went for 3 days, yeah. I did think I should buy one, a shampoo bar. But in the end, I didn't. Well, I don't think I did. Oh, I've got something in my eye. Oh, I would love it to be platinum. If it would be this you can't see very well on here, but this colour at the sides is my own colour. It's absolutely white at the sides, and it looks nice, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there, Kiwi. That is my vice. I don't spend as much on clothes as I used to. I used to love buying, the boho clothes like this, jazzy clothes. But now I'm sort of limited, into buying gloves. Although I did buy one of those cuddlies, those great big things that you put on when you sit in them, and they're like massive overcoat things. I'm just getting ready in case it goes cold this winter. I'm no good at lighting the fire. My son keeps telling me I've got to learn. I've got to learn. I used to light a fire when I was a child, because it was all paper spills, wasn't it? And firewood, and there was an art to doing it when I was a kid. And then we used to call it the blower up. We used to put this piece of metal across to make it draw whatever. I used to be able to do that, but of course, like what, about 70 years have passed since I last lit fire. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, Strictly Come Dancing started. Oh, whoopee doo. Oh, stop it. Keep giving me notifications. I don't want to know what Strictly Come Dancing's doing. My niece has 2 children, a boy and a girl, which surprises me that the boy is about 9. They love Strictly and they're absolutely glued to it. I can understand the little girl because she's about 7. But, it's not something that really has interested me. My mum used to love watching the old come dancing, but it was all like formation dancing teams that used to come dancing along. And they were always going on about, because it was usually in black and white. And her dress is, and she's hand stitched all the sequins on herself. And I'm thinking, yeah, I bet she has. Yeah. My mum had 2 white streaks at the front. They used to call them the Malin streak. It was from a TV program, I think, where the leading actor had this white streak or something. Yeah, we used to put a shovel if we couldn't find the blower, and then you put a piece of newspaper. It was a newspaper these days, but anyway, and you used to get it going till it was roaring. And if you weren't careful, the newspaper would be sucked up the chimney. And my mother was always frightened of a chimney fire, so she was always very, oh, don't do that! Don't let the paper run up the chimney. A couple of times I accidentally did it. I used to have to run outside quick to see if the chimney was on fire. It never was, thankfully, but Yeah, we've decided that this winter we'll be using the log burner, and I'll be wearing my big cuddly thing in the morning when I get up, to make me bug. I go out a lot these days. I'm not a homebody that I used to be anymore. So it seems a shame to light the fire when I'm not in, yeah. I mean, the family can light it if they want, yeah. But so I thought, oh, I'll get this big cuddly thing and put it over, and sit with that on. Hi, Amanda. So have you seen me doing a video with my hood up? You'll know I'm doing it in the morning and it's cold, yeah. But Mary Maxim's got a sale on. Everything's $1.99 to $2.99. There you have. You're in the US. Mary Maxim's got a sale on. It won't do for me, Kiwi, because the postage will be rather high. Yeah. Yeah, I used to look into the coals, see the dancing flames, make up little stories, about who was in the flame. Yeah, it's a big fleecy thing. Yeah, it's got a big white lining inside it as well. Hi, Ethan. I bought it's navy plush on the outside, and like white. Well, it's not fur, is it? It's imitation stuff on the inside. Yeah, yeah. No, I've been buying a lot of stuff, as you know, off eBay. Mm. I mean, I am going to Yarndale, but that I'm going for the atmosphere. I'm going for the excitement of looking around and looking at all the beautiful hand-dyed yarns. But to be truthful, they're out of my pocket. They really are out of my pocket. I might treat myself to one. Then I can make maybe some, fingerless gloves or something with some really pretty yarn. But yeah, I bring it every day. Oh, you'll have to get it installed, Kiwi. Yeah. My son's talking about getting one. In fact, they've just been doing the summer house out. They've took the garden furniture. We had this massive garden furniture. Well, it's going cold now. We're not going to sit outside, are we? And he's put it in the summer house. And they've got a little log burner that they're going to put in there. Oh, bye, yarn bath. I'm not too sure. It's in Skipton, so it's going to be about an hour or more, which is why I've got the shawl to take with me. I know one or two people that are going, but I mean, there's obviously a coach full of people. I probably won't know everybody, but it's amazing. I mean, crafters make friends, don't we? We make friends. You've always got something to chat about if you're a crafter, haven't you? I mean, I was crocheting in the cafe the other day because I met up with my two friends, and I thought I'm going to take me crocheting. And two ladies came over and said, "Can I see what you're making? Can you hold it up? Can we have a look?" It's always somebody that comes. I am hoping to take a video if my camera obliges. But as you know, my camera's been a little bit iffy lately. It really needs replacing, but it's a bit lower down on the list of things that I had to get. I decided instead to get this cuddly thing and, to buy some more wood for the log burner. So the camera's gone a little bit lower. Also, I bought some more wool, which I didn't need, but I bought anyway. So the camera's gone down the list a little bit, but I do need to get one. Yeah. I think some people thought it was rather amusing, Sean. I was sitting there. And the number of men mostly who come up and say, "My mum used to knit like that." And I'm like, "It's not knitting, it's crochet." But you have to, my sweet Lingo, did she? Did she crochet? It's usually the men who say that. The women just sort of look at you a bit funny and they don't come up and ask you. Unless they're a crafter, of course, then they come up and ask you what you're making, yeah. Yeah. But well, I've just realised I've not brought my glass in when I open my drink. I shall have to drink it out of the cup. totally chav drinking your drink out of a cup. Oh dear. It's funny, you know, when you go out and about, it's like spot the chav in it, you know. The ones with the see-through leggings on that you can see their underwear underneath. And I'm like, don't you own a mirror, lady? It's not a pleasant sight. We don't wish to see underwear. Oh, they always want to know if I'm making a scarf. Are you making a scarf? It's like that big. It's not going to be a scarf, is it? But are you making a scarf? It's like the sole limit of what you can crochet with a mound seems to be a scarf, you know, or what you can knit, as they say. Yeah, they always said that. My mum used to knit, or my grandma used to knit. Mind you, one guy sat in front of me for ages. He was making me feel uncomfortable. He was like staring at my hands, and he goes, "Oh," he said, "You're like a spider spinning a web." No, I haven't, Kiwi. I haven't used the is it Pantone or Pantone? Has anybody else used it? Is it that you're wanting to buy it, Kiwi, or you're just interested in, yeah? Yeah. How long does it take you to make that shawl? Well, it depends. Depends if I can sit and crochet it for hours or if I just do it in between everything else, which tends to be what I do these days. I mean, when I lived on my own and I didn't have such bad arthritis, I used to sit and crochet all day long, you know, me and the dogs, and, you know, watch a bit of telly and sit and watch lives, which I don't do now. And but now, since I've been here, I've started going out and about, and um, I'm not in as much anymore now. Yeah, you go wrong, don't you, when people stare at you when you're supposed to be doing your trebles or double crochets in America, and you keep losing the thread, don't you? Oh, I didn't make these. eBay specials, they're great. They go all the way up my arm. Look at that. Whoa. Oh, somebody's used the Pantone or Pantone, whatever. I haven't. I haven't even seen it. No. My favourite is the boho signet. I mean, I think I showed you. Well, I showed it on the video. I don't know whether I've shown it on the live. The lady at the Naked Sheep's got an offer on with this at the moment. If you get 4, you get them for £10. It's called the Boho Sprinkles Chunky. That one's called Confetti. I got 4 different colours because I wanted to make headbands for the craft fair that me and my friend are doing in November. That one's lovely, isn't it? Look at that. That one's called Red Velvet. It's called Sprinkles Pop Chunky. I don't know how much it is on other sites. This was from an actual wool shop. This one is Tutti Frutti. Tutti Frutti, all Rudy. It's all blues. And then the last but not least is this one, which is like pinky purples. And this one is called Rainbow Sherbet. And it does look like a pinky sherbet, doesn't it? I saw it the other week when I went in for the yellow, you know, the dreaded yellow. And I thought, no, you're spending £10 on the yellow, well, £11 on the yellow wool. But I had to go back. Yeah, the other wool I've been buying off eBay, I bid, and I know how much roughly I'm going to spend, and if it goes past that, then I just let it go. I've learned not to keep on bidding, because you then get into a bidding war, don't you? And it pushes it up further than what you think it's actually worth. So I've learned to just stop. I look at it and think, there's so many balls there. I'm willing to pay so much a ball for it. That's included the postage because you know. So say there's 5 balls and it's like £10. I think, well, I'd pay a little bit more than £2, So I bid maybe more than the £5 with the £5 postage, yeah. So I just balance it out. But when it gets to something like £13 plus the £5 postage, I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. No. Because as you know, I try to sell bits and pieces that I make. So you can't pass on. And there's only so many shawls I can wear. There's so many shawls I can gift, So no, I'm not paying silly money for one cake a yarn. No. Not when I'm lumbering myself with about 9 cakes, and they want something silly like 20-something pound for them. No. No. I don't buy. I have to get a bargain, otherwise I don't buy. I mean, what I'm looking for tomorrow is maybe some notions, maybe patterns, maybe, as you say, some ideas. I'm hoping to take videos unless people complain. Some stalls are a bit weird, about you taking videos. Oh, don't show me stuff, don't show me stuff. But most stalls, don't mind because you're doing an advert for them when all's said and done. If I'm showing a yarn and showing who it's by, 9 times out of 10, they have a web page, don't they? So if somebody's watching my video and said, oh, I really like that, they can get in touch with the person who's dyed it and order it online, yeah? So I don't see why people should object to me taking videos. They're weird, some people. I remember a lady went mad at me one day. She was making those little animals, out of where you stab bits of wool, turn them into animals. Felted, is it called? She went mad. Don't show. People will be copying. Oh. So all right, I'll delete. Yeah. Yeah, I'm always very grateful when I used to buy every crochet magazine that was going. But I had more money to spend back in the day. But now the crochet magazines are ridiculously priced. I'm very, very grateful to Tracy, Tracy. Oh, it'll come to me in a minute. Crochet Rocks. She does all the reviews of the knitting magazines and the crochet magazines. And I either think, oh, yeah, quite like that one. I'll order that one. Or I think, no, there's nothing in that one I want. Yeah. I gave away a pile the other day to the ladies at the knit club. Yeah, the felting, that's what you're right, yeah. Oh, we've got a lady at knit club, bless her. And she's doing this, and I'm going, what are you making? And she goes, well, I'm hoping it'll tell me what it wants to be, that it'll turn into something. She makes sort of weird animals, yeah. I said to her the other day, that's a nice seal. Are you making a seal? Look at the big eyes on the seal. And she went, it's Olaf. Oops. I don't say anything anymore now. But I thought, oh, that's nice. What are you making? That's nice. What is it? Or usually I wait what she tells me. I'm making a duck. I'm making a whatever. It's like people who do painting, this abstract stuff. I never got that. I never got the abstract painting. I've got to take my gloves off. Look at that. Look how long they are. Quite long, aren't they? Yeah, they do recycle a lot of things. And there's always the obligatory couple of amigurumis, which I know you make them, Sham, but I don't, yeah. And there's always loads and loads of editorials, isn't there? Loads of adverts for this wool, that wool that's like £13 for a little 50-gram ball. And I'm like, oh, yes, I'm really going to be buying that. You know, oh, somebody loves me. I wonder who. I used to do paint by numbers for when I was a kid. I haven't done it since. Oh, I won't be buying hand-dyed yarn. I mean, some of it's £20 a skein. If it's something really pretty, I might buy one to make some little, hand warmers or something. But there is no way I could afford to buy enough to make a sweater. In any case, it's fine yarn, isn't it? Let me just see if anybody wants me desperately. It'll be something and nothing. It always is. Oh, just knocked my drink over. Luckily, it still had its lid on. Oh, I'm sorry if you saw my rear end then. Oh, it's from a lovely lady. I used to watch all her YouTube videos. She was a lovely lady called Dina, and then she just suddenly disappeared. And I kept asking, everybody's seen Dina? Not seen her for years, yeah. And I found her on Instagram. I'm so happy. So, yeah, she used to make some lovely, she used to make loads and loads of hats, on a loom that she gave to charity. And they were very pretty hats. I mean, there's another lady comes on, she makes them, and oh my God, you wouldn't give them your cat. But this lady, she makes some beautiful ones, yeah. And, I'd have been happy to wear any of her hats, yeah. But some people have got no idea about colours, have they, They put any old things in a hat, don't they? And then they stick a button on it or a bow on it. With one lady that makes some hats for the homeless, and I'm thinking no self-respecting homeless person would want to be seen dead in one of your hats, dear. I think they'd rather not bother. You're making squares. Woo! Oh, there was one lady put a thing on Facebook. She said she's getting that Disney book. And I said to her, are you sure? She says, oh, yeah, well, I like the Disney and I like the little animals that's in the Disney book. I said, do you realise if you get them all, it's 100 issues at $4.99, which is like £5, isn't it? So I said, to make that Disney blanket, you're paying £500. And she goes, well, I don't buy any other magazines. I thought, I'm leaving her to it. Can you imagine paying £500 and you've got to make it yourself for a Disney blanket? 100. So it's every week. That's like 2. Are there more than 100 issues? I only saw there was 100. I mean, it's just, I'm sure you could find Disney squares or mouse squares or other squares somewhere else. You don't have to pay $4.99 an issue for 100 or more. As Nathan says, there's more than 100. How can you justify spending £500? Oh, hey, Chris. Justify spending £500 on the wool and the patterns for a blanket. I'd want it in spun gold for that. More than hand-dyed, not some crappy acrylic, you know what I mean? I'm not saying acrylic's rubbish. Some acrylics are absolutely fantastic. But these don't look very good quality acrylic, the cheaper end of the market. You're making skull pants. Are you going to line them or are they see-through, Kiwi? I don't know whether I could wear crochet trousers. I know loads of people do those granny square ones and stuff, don't they? But I don't think I could actually. Mind you, I'm a bit on the plus side, so anything that makes me look even more plus, it's kind of like a no-no in my book, yeah. I mean, when I met Bob Wilson 123, she's Crochet by Claire now. When I met her about 3-4 years ago, we went to Woolfest together. She had some fantastic like leggings on that were in. Well, they weren't in granny squares. They were in fabric that looked like granny squares. They looked great, but she's tall and slender, not like me who's little and squat. Oh, thank you, Chris. It's actually a house coat or dressing gown or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I don't wear it very often, and I should, because it's all glittery. Look at that, glittery with birdies on it. They're not lined. Oh. I was asked in the summer by a young lass, she's in her 20s, if I'd crochet her like open work trousers and like a little booby top to go to a festival in. But I don't know. I mean, she would want it in cotton, I presume. So I don't know whether she would realise how much it would have cost me to get the cotton, to make it as a set, because I wouldn't have that amount of cotton in the shed to make a set, like long trousers and a top. And then she never mentioned it again, so I just let it slide, yeah. Yeah, they're very fashionable at festivals, I believe, these like 60s style, trouser suits. But like at my age, my size, it's kind of not something I would wear myself. I would love to make them and love to see them on somebody slender and young and yeah. But I know my limitations. Yeah, another lady sent me a pattern one time. Very, very fine crocheted, long, long skirt. And she said, could you make it for me? And I went, just go buy one. No way. Hi, Daniel. Yeah. How did it all go? How did your show go? I'm going to one tomorrow. Going to Yarndale tomorrow, Daniel. Yeah. $500 each. Oh, if only I could. Oh, I'm going to. I'm looking forward to it, Daniel. I've not been out to any yarny type shows for absolute years. So I'm really looking forward to going to this one. I probably won't buy a lot, but I'm going. Yeah, some people get wonderful prices for their crochet. I can't. So, but I've been into all that before. Yeah. You've been listening while you're in the bath. Oh, you've got a video up. Crochet Rocks, I think, has done one as well. Crazy Poppy. Yeah. Yarndale's in Skipton. It's in Yorkshire somewhere, I think. It's where I went to the spa weekend, but not. It wasn't like outside of Skipton, the spa weekend. I went, well, weekend, yeah. $500 each. Oh, I'd crochet trousers for $500. Anybody want any $500 trousers? It's indoors, Lydia. Otherwise, I wouldn't be going if it's going to rain. I've got my scooter charging up ready. Well, my little folding scooter, because the other one, yeah, I should be trundling round. Somebody said, be careful because it's held in the old cattle market and it's a bit wobbly. Yeah. All right, yeah. No, I just actually looked at Granny D's. I couldn't sleep last night. I was lay in bed and I could not sleep. So I looked at a few videos and Crochet Rocks was one of the ones I looked at. And then I finished up getting up and reading. And Poppy, the dog, was keeping me company. Yeah. It's a cattle market, but hopefully the cattle have gone. There might be a few sheep and llama lingering, but oh, I'll have to make. I don't know about making skull pants or anything. I saw my two shawls falling enough through Instagram. Yeah, people seeing them on Instagram. So I'm hoping. Finish the other one. Those of you who are latecomers who didn't see it, I finished the other one. Yet another virus shawl. I can do these in my sleep. Where are we gone? The colours change. It's actually purple at the top, green, and then it's like a pinky purple at the bottom. It needs blocking, so it would be bigger than this when it's done. But the washing line was full today. So, yeah, it takes me 4 days to do those, and I'm lucky if I get £25 for them. You know, unfortunately, people don't value the work in the UK. Hello there. Hello, Rick. How are you? Oh, has anybody seen Rob's videos, UK Medic? He actually made a live where he appeared on it. So I actually saw what Rob looks like. He used to come on here a lot, but he hasn't been on for ages. If you remember him, Rob, UK Medic, yeah. Oh, be right back, Granny D, yeah. Yeah, I hope you've recovered now, Rick, yeah. Yeah, it was quite interesting, to put a face to the person that you've spoken to for a number of times, yeah. It was like, oh, that's what Rob looks like. We're waiting for Chris to make another video where we can actually see him, yeah. I know I look at my crochet sometimes, and I look at crochet on, the internet that's selling for hundreds of dollars. And I look at mine and I think, is mine so bad? Is mine so rubbish? And you start to doubt yourself. You start looking at your own work, don't you? Oh, well, yeah, it's difficult enough. All I get is people who say, oh, you should donate to charity. I'm sorry, but I can't afford to do that. I do my bits for charity, but I just can't afford to buy yarn and give it all to charity. I'm just not in that kind of position, especially with all the electric bills and everything going up. But yeah, I belong to a knit group where they knit for each other and don't charge each other anything except for the wool. And then they say to me, oh, I love that cardigan you're wearing. And I'm like, ooh, I just keep my mouth shut because I know what they're angling at. They're angling at me to make them for them. There's about 12 of them anyway, just for, to, but, oh God, yeah. So many people say, oh, can you make me one? And you say, well, it'll cost you so much. And they go, oh, I thought you were retired. I thought you just did it to pass your time. Yeah, right, fine. Yeah. I've not tried selling any crochet things. I did try Etsy, but Etsy just scammed me for so much commission. If I was making the $500 pants, maybe I could afford to go back on Etsy again, yeah. Oh, thank you, Virginia. Can you shout it on a loud hailer? Jan is having some sales. Yeah. I must admit, since I moved here, I have not put any oomph into my selling side of things. I've grown a little bit complacent and a little bit lazy. Yeah. So, we'll have to start. Am I listed on eBay? No, not the wall. It's all just stopped. And I haven't actually put anything else on there yet. Oh, I try not to think about things like that, Rick. I try not to think about taxes and tax cuts and, you know, so many people. Oh, the pensioners are getting so much. Hang on a minute. No, if you were claiming before such a date, you're not getting it. Well, guess who was claiming before that date? Yeah. It's like they're giving it to certain people, but they're not giving it to others. It's a very uneven. I'm sure it's the same in the US. They never get it right, do they? The rich get rich and the poor get poorer. I do not make blankets. I hate making blankets, Virginia. I made one the other week and it's soul destroying. No, it's so boring, churning away across a row. Oh. And corner to corner makes me want to throw up. No, I don't make blankets. I really, really don't. Yeah. Yeah, I don't make as many videos as I used to. I used to crochet so much and buy so much that I always felt like I had something to show. Oh, I love making wearables. If you can wear them, I'll make it. But blankets, no. How many blankets do you need? How many blankets can one person use? I've got about 4, and that's 3 too many in my idea, yeah. Okay. You've got my admiration corner to corner with images. But then again, you see people say, how can you make garments? I couldn't do it. We've all got our own thing, haven't we? Yeah. Oh, we're not in competition. No way. I don't make blankets. No, you're fine. You're all right on your own with those crazy poppy. Don't make blankets. Yeah, I finished one of them, Lydia. But then my daughter-in-law seems to have bought blankets that she's got on there, and my one granny square is finished up, folded up, and over the back of a chair. So I don't think she's in a rush to get the other one. Yeah. They might be in high demand, but they don't pay. All I ever see in charity shops over here are blankets that obviously some old dear spent forever doing them, and they're in the charity shop for a fiver. Yeah, sit corner to corner makes me nod off as well. If it hadn't have been for our lovely Queen's funeral, I would not have finished that yellow blanket, I tell you. Yeah. Yeah, I feel as though I can't make a video if I've got nothing to show. If I haven't crocheted anything, and I'm not one of those that can sort of produce like 17 bags with works in progress. I've only got like 2 things on the go. And yeah, that's what I mean. And you think of those little old dears that have spent forever crocheting those blankets. And obviously, the person that they've given them to doesn't even value them, that they just throw them in the charity shop. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, we don't get as many around here as we used to. There used to be always never any wool in our charity shops. There's never any wool. Never any patterns, books, any wool. There's never anything like that. I don't think people. I really don't know, Genevieve, because there's so many different sizes of dogs, isn't there? I mean, how would you know which size of dog to concentrate on? You know, somebody's got a Great Dane, for example, or somebody's got a Chihuahua. I wouldn't mind making Chihuahua sweaters, but I don't think I'd want to have a Great Dane. I made one for our Trixie, but she's grown, so it wouldn't button round her if I tried. Now she's just a fatso, yeah. Oh, I don't crochet for my family. My side of the family would wear things I made, but they had so many, I think I overstuffed them with things. But my son's married into a family that, no, I made baby things for them when they were expecting and they never got used. So I don't make things anymore now. Oh, a manhunt after a gunman steals £30,000 somewhere. Oh, do I know him? Can he bring a little bit my way? I've won another lucky dip, so keep your fingers crossed for tonight's. Well, they'll have done it now, the draw. My lucky dips win lucky dips. You know, on the lottery I'm talking about. Never win any money. I just win lucky dips. I suppose it's better than nothing, isn't it? But, you know, I just wish I win a bit of money. Millions, you're joking. You're talking up to me, Chris. I couldn't win an argument. Oh. I'm going to open my drink, even though I'm going to have to drink it out my cup because I forgot my glass. I knew there was something I'd forgotten to bring in. Oh, it's fuzzing up. I've only got 2 things on the go, Sean. I feel very virtuous when I see people with about 17 things. Yeah. I know Karen, is it Karen used to do a lot for Woolly Hogs, but she's just moved house, hasn't she, now? So she's probably busy furnishing her house, yeah. I've never made a dog, well, I've made one dog jumper, but it was for my dog. And I made a dog jumper many, many years ago when we had a little poodle, but I was only a teenager when I made that one. I actually made my little poodle quite a few. My friend made me a poncho, but I need to sort it out actually because she put the hood very close and I can't get in it. I'm a bit throttled. So I need to unpick, yeah. Need to unpick it and make it go from about there, then I can actually get my head in, yeah. All right, Lydia. Yeah, I'm not staying on mega late tonight. Yeah, I've got to be in bed about 11ish or something like that. Mind you, I'm so wound up I probably won't get to sleep anyway, but I have to try. Because I finished up reading my book till 4:30 last night, so crisps, chips, whatever you want to call them. Oh, look at that one. It's got a bubble in it. See inside. Oh dear. You're getting tired of getting your letters muddled up. I can do that when I'm not tired. I've got dyslexic fingers, I've decided. When I'm typing, something else completely comes up on the screen. I've got a friend and she takes medications. And I can always tell when she's falling asleep because I keep getting these bizarre emojis. And I say to her, go to bed. Oh, we can all make things for free. As I say, I actually got told by a lady, well, I thought you were retired. I thought you just crocheted to pass your time. You mean you charge? Yes. I said, I don't know how much an hour you earn in your office job, but would you go in and work 2 days for no money? She went, no. I said, I rest my case. Oh, they think because you craft. I mean, I had another friend when I lived in Prestwich, and she used to make the most beautiful hand-sewn quilts, you know, in hexagonal pieces. Fabulous things. A number of times people used to say, I'll give you £50 for it. And it'd be a huge, massive bedspread. I said, they are joking, aren't they? She'd work months on one of them. I think they can be desperate. They're probably not paying anyway. Yeah, I mean, most people wouldn't even work an hour's overtime for nothing. I don't know what kind of jobs they've got, but you asked anybody, would they work an hour's overtime for nothing? I should think the majority of them would say no. They want to be paid for everything they've worked, yeah? Well, it's not exactly a job to say I work for the tax offices either. Everybody gives you a wide berth. I used to say I work for the government when I worked at the job centre, because people were like, oh, you're one of them, are you? I used to say I was an admin officer for the government. I think anybody who crafts these days, it is rather soul destroying. You know, you don't get your money's worth, you don't sell things, you don't, unless you're very, very lucky. Yeah, the people have got no idea, Crazy Poppy, no idea of how much even the wool costs, or the yarn costs, yeah. Anything that's sort of government run is always 2 steps behind everybody else because they won't pay for the upgrades. Oh, I remember that, Sean, yeah, that squirrel. I remember a customer of mine, she made a baby's knitted shawl. It was beautiful. She did it all in very, very fine wool, and it was all a lacy pattern. And she was new to knitting, so she said to the woman, oh, I don't know how much to charge. Give me what you think. She gave her a box of chocolates. Not even a big box of chocolates. She gave her a box of chocolates. Oh, I'd have took the shawl back. When I worked for the Department of Works and Pensions, our system was always breaking down. It was as old as the Ark. When they did updates, they never worked. And the computers would be down for days, which is very handy when you're trying to pay people their money, isn't it? Right, Genevieve? Oh, you're in New York. Yeah, a box of chocolates for weeks and weeks of work, hand knitting a lovely baby shawl. don't realise how many hours it takes. I mean, somebody who doesn't crochet asked me how long this had taken me. I started it on Tuesday and finished it last night. No, yeah, Tuesday I started it. So that doesn't sound a lot, does it? But it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So how many hours is that? You know, it doesn't sound long, does it? But it is. As for these people who say, oh, you should charge $10 an hour for your crochet. How amusing. Have you ever known anybody get $10 an hour for the crochet? I haven't. Unless they're designers. Mm-hmm. There was a little tank toppy thing, well, halter vest, by a firm called Mui, M-U-I. And it was all done with little scraps of different colours. And it was $820. There was no back in it, it was just strings at the back. $820. But because some pop singer had been wearing it, everybody wanted it. When I was selling things on Etsy, I never reached the amount where I had to pay tax. Because as a pensioner, you're allowed to earn so much, and I never earned that so much. Because when you think about it, when you earn, say you sold something, just for example, for £20 on Etsy, they take the commission out of that. You have to take your raw material, i.e. the yarn, out of that. So out of £20, you don't even make a £10. So that's all the IRS or whatever it's called in England are interested in, is how much profit you make. So I rang up the tax office when I was doing my online shop. And he just laughed and he said, you're never going to make enough to pay tax. I wouldn't worry about it. Because if you start declaring what you're earning, the tax office thinks that that £20 you just sold a hat for or something is all yours. And it's not. Because if it's Etsy make you put the price of the postage on. So obviously you can't do the postage for free. You've got to add the postage to the cost of your hat. So say your hat, you would have been willing to sell your hat to £10 for somebody over the, you've got to sell the hat for £20 because you've got the postage, especially if it's going to America. It can cost you £20 for the postage, even though it's a little hat. Then you've got to pay the commission, that Etsy takes, which is a huge chunk. But because they make you add the postage to the cost of the hat, they then charge their percentage on the whole amount, which is wrong. Because, you're not paying commission on postage because that's something you can't help. Postage is postage. They never used to do that. When I had my Etsy shop at first, you just paid your commission on the actual cost of the garment, yeah? Not the postage as well. But loads of my people have come off Etsy. Saying they refuse to pay that kind of money. Look what I've got. Look what I've got. Yeah, before they went silly, I used to use it because most of my sales went to the US. But then when I tried to put something on when after I came here, I tried to put something on. And they wanted me to, not only did they want me to do post free, otherwise they would promote it, but they also wanted me to have a US tax code number. And I'm like, hey, I don't live in the US. Why would I have a US tax code number? And you can't get around it. I tried to list it UK only. But when I looked at it, they'd put it worldwide post free. Well, I'd only priced it with the postage to the UK added on. So I couldn't do worldwide post free for that kind of money. And yet, if I put the price up, it would meant that I was like fleecing my UK buyers, wouldn't I? Oh, it's just ridiculous. It's unusual. White chocolate aerial bubbles. I like the way it says a sharing bar. Yeah, I'll share it with me tomorrow. Yeah, it's got dark chocolate on the outside. Grilled cheese. Oh, who's made you some grilled cheese, Kiwi? It's almost like these big companies like eBay, Etsy, whatever. They're just out to fleece anybody. Yeah, it's not now, Sean. It's a heck of a lot more than that now. I was watching Afternoon Treats, and she was saying how much it was. It was ridiculous, the amount of fee. I remember the last time I saw something for the US, I think it was about £60 what she bought, and they took £16 off me. That was for the listing and their commission and everything. Hi, Jean. Nice, but it's very sweet, very sickly, and that's all I'm going to eat of that. It's too sweet. I'm going to try yet another craft fair. Must be mad. But this time I'm only taking hats, scarves, small things. I'm not taking any of my garments with me. Because I thought maybe for winter, hats, headbands, little things like that might sell. So me and my friend are going to do it between us. And she's made some little Christmassy ornaments, like little Christmas trees with pins on them and everything. So, but I'm not taking any of my garments with me. Skull pants. I wondered when you said Kiwi was after something. Oh gosh, I know it's £20 to send anything tiny to America. It's ridiculous, the prices. I mean, we're up against it. If they're an American selling to an American, they've got this system, haven't they, where you buy a box and it's like a set price and it goes anywhere all over the States. So they don't understand that in England everything gets weighed and where's it going to, when you have to put a custom stamp on it and everything, yeah. Oh, I wouldn't want to organise one, Sean. It's bad enough just to taking part in one. And I wouldn't mind, but I think my family's going to be away, so I'm going to be getting a taxi there. Still, never mind there. It's on the 19th of November, and I've got an awful feeling that's when they're going away. They're taking the dogs with them, so this isn't so bad. They're supposed to be going the 24th and the 26th, but they're talking about going for a week or so. So I'll have the house to myself. Yay! Oh, you're Adrian. All right. I got bitten by a parrot, so I'm sort of a bit. It was so I went. It went right in my finger. So I'm a bit dubious about parrots. My friend used to have a minor bird, and it was very clever. Used to imitate anything and everything. You couldn't watch the television because he absolutely loved American cop detective series. It would do all the sirens and you dirty dog and all that stuff. But he was so funny. I used to go to my friends. It was long before I was ever married. And her mum would pop in the front room and say, "Would you like a drink?" And I'd say, "Oh yeah, it'd be nice. A coffee would be nice, yeah." And then this little bird used to go, "Peter wants a drink." So we'd ignore it, and he got, "I said, Peter wants a drink." And then he used to wolf whistle when you came in, and he used to be, and he'd repeat what you were saying. If I was talking to my friend about something, he'd repeat it. Oh, it was always, "Peter wants this, Peter wants that, Peter said, I said, Peter wants this." Ah. I mean, it's probably long dead now because, blimey, I would only be a teenager. Man, they live a long time, don't they, these things? Parrots and... Well, this was a minor bird, whatever a minor bird is, I don't know. When my son got married at first, my daughter-in-law had cockatiels. Oh, God. And they invited me round. Well, before they got married, they invited me round to where he'd moved, because he had his own house and he moved in with her. And they invited me around to meet the family, and these blooming birds, witter, witter, twitter, witter, witter. I said, "How can you stand that noise?" Ariana said, "Oh, you learn to ignore it." But I noticed they didn't stay long. They got rid of them. It was like a menagerie. They had about 2 or 3 of these cockatiels, and then they had a cat and, was it 2 cats and dogs? And oh, it was like Dr. Dolittle when he first moved in. We finished up with 1 dog. No, I finished up with 2 dogs, which I inherited 1 dog. And then he got another dog, so he had 2 dogs and I had 1. And then when we moved here, it was actually 12 months on Wednesday that we lost Poppy. Most of you remember Poppy. She used to come in and say hello to me when I was on my lives. Beautiful dog. But unfortunately, we took her to the vets to see what was wrong with her, and she passed away on the table. But that's a good thing, really, because she was ridden with cancer. So we would have had to bring her home and then put her to sleep. So, oh yeah, my old aunt used to have a budgie. When I say a budgie, people in America have no idea what I'm talking about. They say, "A parakeet." No, it's not a parakeet, it's a budgie. I don't know what you call them over there, but over here it's a budgie. She used to have a budgie. They were always called Joey or Peter. That used to, as soon as she put on Coronation Street, there was a certain theme tune for Coronation Street. It didn't like it. Didn't like Coronation Street at all. So it used to start this racket up. And even if she put the cover over its cage, it would still go mad. It hated that. It hated Coronation Street. Yeah, people in America keep saying they're not called budgies. They're called parakeets. And I'm like, no, parakeets are completely different things. Coronation Street is still going. It's gone past 50 years now. And it's as boring as far-fetched. Hi, Isaac. There would not be so many murders, deaths on one street. No way. No way. It got that they were running out of ideas. I mean, I don't watch it anymore. It's not true to life about Northern whatever. It's just ridiculous. The storylines are just so far-fetched. I don't watch soaps anymore now. The last time I watched Coronation Street, Ina Sharples was in the snug. So that's how long. Oh, you're going to make some breakfast. Okay, Virginia. You're going to bring it back to bed. Breakfast in bed. Breakfast in bed. I've not had breakfast in bed since, oh gosh, since I was in hospital. That's going back a bit. That's when you get breakfast in bed, when you're in hospital. I never get it here. I don't watch any of them. What is it? Hello, Yana. I'm Sheila. No, I don't. I don't watch. I haven't watched EastEnders. I don't watch. Was it Hollyoaks or whatever it is? I don't watch that. I don't know what other. I never watched Neighbours. My son used to watch Neighbours many, many years ago. What other soaps are? Uh, I watched Casualty many, many years ago, but then that went a bit random. And Grange Hill used to annoy me, wanted to throw something through the telly. Little brats behaving like that at school, I would have punched them. I used to say to my son, I hope you're not learning anything watching that thing. Because the bad behaviour, it was awful, wasn't it? In Grange Hill, the bullying, the bad behaviour, everything. It was just encouraging people. I never watched that. I like happy endings, things like the Waltons. The old stuff, like the Beverly Hillbillies and stuff like that. I like that stuff. I don't like anything with violence and anything. No. No. Oh, not heard of that one, Rick. It's on YouTube, is it? Oh, my son used to watch that thing with a monkey in it. Monkey. That was dumb. I don't mean the monkeys, by the way. I mean that monkey thing. And I used to watch that kung fu thing. He was, hi, grasshopper. That David Carradine, was it, a Carradine, whatever? And it used to go back to when he was a child. Hello, grasshopper. I used to watch things like that ages ago, but they've all gone, everything's gone violent, hasn't it? It's all to do with drugs and violence and people being stabbed and shot and otaku. Oh, yeah, I mean, at one time you'd get, yeah, violence or sex. It's always to do with that, isn't it, these days? You remember that monkey thing? What was it called? It was crackers. The song used to be, that was all in Japanese or Chinese or something, wasn't it? The subtitles. No, I hate violence. I hate anything. And I'm not keen on all this sort of Halloweeny stuff, all this ghouls and, oh, people who like horror stories now. Well, I'm hoping to take my camera, Ray, but you know my camera has its minutes. I can think I've videoed a whole video and get home and find I've done nothing. So just keep your fingers crossed. Oh, you and your Japanese sweeties, charm. That used to make me laugh. I still remember them boobies. And those like blancmange things you used to have to stir around, didn't you, and put in the microwave. Oh, God, they were all disgusting. Everything was either fish, wasn't it, or something weird. That sounds like YouTube lives, Chris. Backbiting, talking behind people's backs. That sounds like live videos. I stopped watching a lot of lives. They're all sweetness and light, and then you know for a fact they're stabbing each other in the back behind the scenes. Oh, to be a fly on the wall, yeah. I don't like these reality shows. It just teaches young women that they all have to look a certain way. And they don't have to work, they just have to be recognised or be a YouTube star or a TikTok star. And they've got no ambition to have what I call a proper job, have they, you know? And they all look the same, don't they, with the pneumatic lips and the eyebrows like beetles, you know. You've seen one girl, you've seen them all. You can't tell one from the other, can you? I look at pictures and I think, who's that? It looks like the same one I saw 2 minutes ago, yeah. And they've all got the big hoop earrings in, haven't they? And they all have the filters on their face. Oh, at least they're not doing the cat noses anymore with the whiskers, are they? Oh, those eyebrows are like two slugs, aren't they, crawling across? Oh, but why do young women think they all have to look alike? These big lips and you know, you see them, don't you? And they're always like on one side. They always take the picture like leaning on one side. I don't know whether that's to make them look better or what. Yeah, caterpillar eyebrows. I used to have caterpillar eyebrows. I used to pluck them out though. Now I've got none. And I mean, I don't understand all this bullying. I mean, when I was at school, you used to get teased. You used to get sort of a little bit, but there was no ganging up on one woman, one girl. There was no 5 people fighting one person. I mean, if the boys wanted to fight, there used to be the 2 people who were fighting, and everybody else used to stand down and know the coats. They didn't all join in. They didn't wait for anybody and stab them, you know, lure them into a park and stab them. I mean, God, there was none of that. And there was no online bullying, of course, because when I was young, there was no online. You know, people didn't troll you or bully you. But the school should stamp on it. They really should. I know they say they've got no rights, they've got to go all this. I mean, my son got bullied by a grown-up girl at school. And the school wouldn't do anything. So I just went round to the girl's mother and said, what are you going to do about this? She did nothing about it. She was horrified. She yanked the girl downstairs and gave her a good beat. But this is the problem. I had a friend once and her kids were bullies. I hate to say this, but they were bullies. But every time somebody said anything to her, she was at the school like that. And I'm going, hang on a minute, why are you doing that for? Your kids are no angels. Well, she said this, she said that. I said, I know your kids. I said, they probably did it. Oh, well, I'm still not having them talking to them like that. And this is why they get away with it. When mothers like her stick up for them no matter what. Oh, God, we definitely had no makeup. Because I had one girl, she was in my class, she had dreadful, dreadful acne. And she used to try and cover it up, with makeup. Well, it used to be pan stick back in the day, thick stuff. She used to be trying to cover up the acne. She wasn't wearing it to make herself look glamorous, attractive, or whatever. There was no lipstick with it or mascara or anything. She just used to put this pan stick on trying to cover up this acne. And she used to get told to take it all off, yeah. Your kids have got no respect. I mean, I had to go into school one time for my son. He was accused of something it turned out he didn't do. And I was walking along the corridor and these kids were coming in the opposite direction and they were just banging into me, knocking me flying. And I went into the headmaster and I said, I'm absolutely disgusted with the behaviour of those kids out there. I said, they smacked into me, knocked me into the wall and everything. And he goes, what can I do? And I thought, you're pathetic. You're the headmaster and you're pathetic, yeah. What can I do? They're just boisterous. Boisterous. I said, I'm walking down the corridor. I said, I'm a stranger, somebody's mother. They should have more respect than to knock me into the wall. Hi, Virginia. Hello, you back? Yeah, there's always been that element. I mean, I was always pretty bright at school. Don't know where it went. But I was always pretty bright at school. But I used to be held back by the dumber ones that used to take ages to get, be shown things over and over and over again. Yeah. And it used to be pretty boring for the rest of us who were quite bright and got it the first time, but hey ho. That's the way it was back then. Oh my God, if you went home and said you got smacked on the hand by the teacher, you got another one when you got in. Well, he must have been giving you cheek. When I think about it, my school reports used to say, we see more of the back of Janet's head than we see of the front. In other words, I was always turning around because my friend was in the desk behind me. So I used to keep turning around to talk to her. So I've got a school report that says that we see more of the back of Janet's head than we see of the front. My mother was like, oh, when she read that. There's more special needs kids these days. I don't know whether it's the diet they're on. I don't understand why there's so many autistic kids. Yeah, but why is it suddenly rife everywhere? Why is it suddenly an epidemic? I don't understand. Is it what it is? No, I would have been at school with that. The, boys more value to the school. Nah. Deal with it. Grab the little shit. I had one boy that was throwing stones at my son. I don't mean little stones, I mean boulders. He was chucking them at him. So we came a bit close to the house, so we had big high hedges, privets. So I waited till he got near and I grabbed him round the head. I'll hit you. You can't do that. I told him, I said, go and tell your mother. Go and tell your mother, bring her over here. And I'll tell her what you're doing. Needless to say, it all stopped. He never threw anymore. But now you see, you get reported, wouldn't you? But back in the day, at least you could take things into your own hands. Yeah, I think chemicals in food has a lot to do with it, yeah. I'm not saying all kids. I mean, some kids will always be born differently, but I mean, there's a lot of kids that are fed junk food. There's a family around here and their boy, he's 4, can't speak, he's not potty trained. And they let him watch cartoons that are, what's it called, the Huggy something. It's meant for adults, it's not meant for kids. And they let him sit in front of the television all day long and watch that. And he doesn't have any meals, he just goes to his snack cupboard and just takes whatever snacks he wants and he eats them all day long. But they never talk to him. They never interact with him. They've never even tried to potty train him. He wears a jacket now that says, I'm not naughty, I'm autistic. And I'm like, he's never been diagnosed. He's just a little because they don't spend any time with him. You have to interact with a child. I mean, Shan knows this. She's done wonders with her son because she interacts with him. She takes him places. She does everything with him. And he's come on leaps and bounds, yeah. But when you don't interact with a child, when you don't talk to them, you don't do anything, you don't even try to train him. You don't even try to train him. He's still in nappies and he's like 4. He doesn't speak. He just sits and watches cartoons all day long. I just, yeah. Yeah, I'm not talking about your son, Shan. You do wonders with him. But they just don't bother. Yeah. Have you heard that Huggy Wuggy or something? It's not a child's cartoon, not for a 4-year-old. I've read articles where it was saying, don't let your child watch this cartoon. If he wants to watch Huggy Wuggy or something, divert him onto something else, But he sits all day long watching this. Oh, gosh, Sean, you've put the hard work in with your child. I mean, if you could have given up on him, and you could have just let him sit in front of the telly and not try. No, you've got to. I mean, I used to probably bore my son to death. It was like a constant dialogue with my kid from him being newborn. Mummy's going to make daddy's dinner now. Shall we go in the kitchen? I used to take him with me. I'm talking long before he knew how to walk, talk, do anything. I used to sit him on the counter while I cut the vegetables up and that. And as soon as he was old enough, he used to drag his little stool. And I used to let him do stuff, even peel a carrot or something. Talking to him, telling him what I was doing. He used to love to bake. From being about 2, he used to love to bake. He used to get flour everywhere. It looked like a disaster zone in the kitchen, but you just do things like that. Oh, no. It's a bit like our dog, that. Our dog's, the little one's come into season again, which has took us by surprise because it's only 3 months since she was in season before. So her little bits and bobs are sore. So she keeps going and peeing in a corner somewhere. Yeah. Yes, but you've got to do it, Sean. You've got to talk to him. It's no good sitting him in a corner and not speaking to a child. They learn to speak. They learn to talk. They learn by you talking. If you don't talk to your children, how do they learn? It's like these children who pick up languages when they've got parents that are dual nationality. The child's non-verbal, yeah. Doesn't say a word, except something indistinguishable that you can't tell. He just goes, you can't tell what he's saying. But Arian could talk really, really quickly. And he had quite a good comprehension of what you were actually saying to him. I'm not saying he understood every word, but yeah, there are the odd ones, Nathan, where the children are completely non-verbal. But I'm sure you tried with him. Sure you didn't leave him to his own devices and sit him in a corner, yeah. I don't know what they try. Like I say, I'm fortunate. We've not had any children in our family that have needed any extra help. They've all been okay. Let's look at the draw, I suppose, isn't it, really? I mean, my son was in labour for such a long time, and he had a very, very difficult birth. And they thought that he had some brain damage, but thank goodness he didn't, yeah. Yeah, and they taught babies, didn't they, to do the word for milk and stuff from a very, very, very young age, didn't they? Because he said a lot of the problems with babies is when they can't communicate. They don't seem to do that as much now, do they? It must be an in thing, didn't it, a few years back? Teaching them to do some more. Milk, is it? So that they could actually, communicate with something. Can he not use one of those machines, Nathan, where they do speak? I mean, I talked to another lady, you probably may have seen her on here. Her son's been brain damaged from birth, and he talks through a machine thing that says little words. They press a button that says yes, don't they, or no, or whatever. I'm sure Sean knows what I'm talking about. I just wondered if that would work with your son. Oh, I never understood that Esperanto. That was a weird thing, wasn't it? Who in the world? That's sad because you imagine at 3 years old they could, bang a button, but he only said yes or no. Oh, Esperanto was once. It was the big thing, but it seems to have disappeared now. Don't think anybody learns Esperanto now. Yeah, I'm always thankful that my son didn't have brain damage. I would have had to cope. You always do, don't you? He's done picture cards. Yeah, well, he can do things then. At least you work with him, Nathan. You don't just sit him in a corner and ignore him like some people do. It's like, I mean, I don't know how I would react. You don't unless it's you that's in that situation. You don't know how you would feel, how you would do, what you would do. Yeah, I dare say if my son had been brain damaged, you get on with it, don't you? I wouldn't have said, I don't want to take him back. Yeah. I want one that's, whole. Yeah. I'm sure you do try with him, Nathan. I'm sure you don't leave him sat there. Sean, your G is a character. He's all there with his gumdrops, as they used to say. All there with his lemon drops is that boy. He's absolutely bright in his own way. He'll get on. In his own way, he'll get on. When you think of how he was when you first used to come on the lives, yeah. He has come on leaps and bounds since then, Sean. He's a different kid now, isn't he? All right, Kiwi. Goodbye. Adrian, is it Adrian? Goodbye. Yeah, I could remember when you were trying to do live, Sean, and he wouldn't go to sleep and he'd be throwing things around and making a load of noise. Oh, God, he's really changed, hasn't he? There are no places, unfortunately. I don't know what it's like in America, but there's no places here in the UK. They're underfunded and they're just not there. And they don't pay anybody. At least he's capable of asking you to make him a sarnie these days and not just throwing a tantrum. And he knows what he wants, doesn't he? And he tells you what he wants, which is a great milestone from when you think of when I first knew him would be about 4 years ago. The difference in him from then till now is tremendous, yeah. No, I mean, it's like the parents of Down's children used to tend to be older, didn't they? And you always worry about who looks after them. I mean, next door here, we've got a house that specialises looking after adult males that can't look after themselves. There's nothing really wrong with them as such. One of them, another one has learning difficulties and that. But I mean, they're right next door to us, but we never hear them, hardly ever see them. They're no problems, they're no trouble at all, yeah. But they're obviously there because their elderly parents have passed away, probably, and there's no one to look after them. Because I'm talking about men that they look in their 50s. Oh, they used to lock people in their bedroom. I used to live next to Prestwich. Well, you can tell how long ago it was called Prestwich Lunatic Asylum. Mm-hmm. Not mental institution, lunatic asylum it was called. And they used to have people in there that were in there because they were Down syndrome. Nothing else wrong with them. They were just Down syndrome. And there was people in there who'd been in there for years because they dared to have a baby out of wedlock when they were 16. And they were institutionalized. I mean, thankfully, it's just a mental hospital now. It just deals with, people who are mentally ill. But there were so many people that shouldn't have been there, you know. Yeah. Oh, the care homes here are not brilliant. I mean, you could stay in a five-star hotel for less money than they charge to put somebody in a care home. Believe me, I know. I had to put my dad in one. My dad had dementia and Alzheimer's, and we couldn't deal with him at the end of his life. My mum was in a wheelchair, so she couldn't deal. I was working, my brother was working, we just couldn't deal. So we had reluctantly to put him in a care home. And the money they charged, he could have gone around the world on a cruise. Yeah. Oh, they used to lock kids away here. You know, not that long ago. I'm talking like my grandparents' era. But they used to lock them away if they were considered to be a bit, ooh, yeah. I think that's what it is next door. They have a carer there. Somebody who makes the dinners and I suppose a cleaner that comes and cleans the rooms and stuff. They seem to have about 4 or 5 males living next door to us that I would say the range. There's nobody younger than 40, I don't think. But with a Downs person or down person, how they call, it's so difficult to guess their age, isn't it? They look like little old men when they're in their 20s, don't they? So it's difficult. They're only males, there's no females. I mean, I was talking to the woman across the road, and she said one of the neighbours had said, "Oh, it's awful living next door to the Nutters and all that." And I'm like, I mean, when we came looking at the house, they told us what was next door, and it didn't particularly bother us at all. And I can honestly say, when we don't hear, occasionally hear one of them singing if they're in the garden, but they are no trouble whatsoever. No bother at all. It doesn't worry me that they're living next door. They're not dangerous. They're not. They're just there because they just can't look after themselves. They're walking about, they're talking, they're doing all sorts of things. They take them out all the time. Take them out shopping, they take them out. They're always walking about. They're not like shut in or anything like that. And, I don't know what they meant saying, "Oh, live next door to the Nutters." I said, "Doesn't bother me. I'd rather live next door to them actually than live next door to what I used to live next door to." And she was fully functioning. Or so they say. Yeah, my friend Sue that used to do the videos with me, she used to work with adults in supported living. That's what she used to do. She used to take them out, take them to the market, take them all over the place, yeah. Yeah. But they're much better supported living flats now instead of just bunging them in a mental institution. They're not mental, they're just what we would call a bit slow. They just can't cope on their own. They could never cook a meal for themselves without probably setting fire to the house, but, they're just happy. Get their meals done, they get probably the rooms cleaned for them and things like that. Maybe they have to get told to have a shower, I don't know. Maybe they shower on their own. Oh, well, they will, you know. Like Sue used to say that some of them, like you had to watch them, they weren't allowed to go in the kitchen because they would turn the gas on and stuff like that. But apart from that, they were fine. But they had to have somebody overnight, otherwise, they might go in the kitchen and try to start cooking something and set the place ablaze. You had to sort of have one eye open if you were like resting in the chair. Sue used to take her crocheting. That's when she used to do a lot of crocheting when she was on nights. Some people used to read. Some people used to crochet, knit, or whatever. Because you had to have one eye open because you don't leave them. Because they get up in the middle of the night to wander off and make a drink, but they didn't know how to. And yeah. I think G will surprise you. I really think he will. I think underneath it all, he's got a very basic good knowledge. I think when he matures, I think the reason he's not, as you say, he's not matured yet. Once he matures, I think, and he gets his ducks in a row, yeah, I think he'll surprise you. I really do. Yeah. I think he'll be very high functioning, a bit like, savants and things that live their lives. They don't live it like other people live it, but they live it and live it. You know what I mean? They're able to look after themselves, and I'm sure he will be. Yeah. I think you underestimate him, Sean. You know, I can see a massive, massive difference in him from when he first came on to now, yeah. Well, hello from Philadelphia, yeah. And you're coming on just as I'm going to go off, because sadly I'm going out very early in the morning. And I'm not very good at getting up. I tend to go the alarm, which I can't do tomorrow. I've got to get out of bed, get ready to go, yeah. So I'm going to go and pack my bag as such, ready for tomorrow morning, so I can just grab it and go in case I'm a bit late. So normally I'm on a lot longer Greek stitcher, but today it's a shorter. So as usual, thank you all for your company. And I did say I was going to go about 11 o'clock, and it is 2 minutes to 11 here, yeah. So I'm going to go to beddy buys and try to get some sleep. I should sleep because I didn't sleep at all. Well, hardly at all last night. So I want to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to be ready for that coach. If I miss the coach, I'm knackered because I've got no way to get there. They've got my ticket, you know. So I've got to be there or be square, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to hopefully make some videos about Yarndale, if I remember. I've got a little list of things I've got to put in my bag here. So thanks, Chris. So I'll speak to you all as soon as. I might even do a video, you know, when I come back. Well, I'll do the videos. I can't edit. I'm absolutely rubbish at editing. So you'll just get the videos as they are, yeah. But I may do one afterwards talking about it, if you know what I mean. Showing you if I do buy anything, what I bought. Oh, Sean, I'm looking forward to it. I've not been for years to a live show at all. Yeah. If you want to see a nice live show, look at Little Drops of Wonderful, Ali. She done a fantastic video of the Southern wool show that she went to. Also, Denise Deer, she's called Deer Design. She did one as well. If you want to look at what English, or British, I should say, wool things are like, and you want to look at hand-dyed wool, and those are the two to watch. Yeah, Ali, Little Drops are Wonderful. And also Dear Design, she went to the same wool thing. So, and I shall see you all very, very soon. So thank you all for your company. Bye now.